Good morning, welcome to the London session. If you can hear me, please let me know before we proceed. Okay, cool. Thank you for confirming. Okay, so we are looking at the dollar index. Sorry, that's not the dollar index. The dollar index is here, and we've had price come into the level that I was anticipating over the course of the week. I said that we should see price drop into the imbalance in here, right, and then maybe give a bounce, and then ultimately I would expect them to take out this low. Today might be a reversal, intra-week reversal, because today is Thursday, so might be the low of the week. They have relative equal highs in here and an imbalance in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if dollar index go up a little bit more today. If you look on the daily, we've been dropping since Monday, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the weekly range is almost done, so it might struggle to continue going lower because of what I've marked out there. Therefore, the foreign currencies are going to kind of go into some form of either a pullback or a drop. I'm not expecting a big drop because I think the dollar should continue going lower. Therefore, maybe it's going to offer a pullback, right? So you want to be on the caution that today there might be some form of a reversal. So the pairs that I want you to focus on is the one I showed you yesterday, right? The Swiss yen, because I think it's gonna start dropping. Therefore, if you did take out the sell that I showed you yesterday in here, you'll be already at TP1 and you'll be expecting a continuation to the downside. And also the gold trade from yesterday, if you did catch it, then hold on to it for price to come above this equal high. I think they're gonna run that equal high. Should remove some of this drawing. Right, I think they're gonna run that equal high, so you wanna hold on to some of the position to go and run this equal high. Okay, and also US 30, we had I showed you reason why price can retrace and then go back up to that level after breaking that high on the H4, which was the down candle here. So after breaking that, it's gonna retrace and then head for that. So again, if you did catch this one, then you wanna hold on to it for it's gonna reach for the 34k. The other trade, UK 100, we mentioned that we're gonna see price come up here. So today it actually pulled back over the course of yesterday into the imbalance. So if you look closely, it pulled back to that imbalance that I talked about yesterday, that they might pull back into one of these, either this one or that one. right? Either this one or that one. They're going to use one of them to continue price to go up, and that's what they're doing. It's going to continue going till the 70-50 level, in my opinion. There's nothing in here that is gonna suppress price, so I think going forward, that is bullish. Anytime it pulls back to an imbalance, you can look for a buy. So currently we have this little one in here. Currently we have this little imbalance in there. You want to look for continuation to the upside on that. Okay, if it does pull back there, I think this equal high is being run properly. As I mentioned, they would do that. So we're gonna get a continuation to the upside on this. So expect price to keep going up. I think silver as well, it didn't pull back as much as we wanted it to, but it's gonna continue into this imbalance in here. So silver is also good for continuation if you did catch that. Oil, I think oil will go up again today. Maybe it might drop into a little bit into this imbalance. I think I gave a 15 minutes level, not on this one. US oil is it 1505? Yeah, we should not go below this low. It should just rally from where we are. Right, it should not go below this low. It's already taking out yesterday's high. So if it breaks below this low, maybe they want to come back down a little bit further. Therefore, you not buy it, and then you wait till price comes back above this high, and then you buy. All right. So on oil, it should not come below that level because they've already taken out this high. That was previous day's high. If they break down, that is no good. So you want to wait. Maybe they might bring it all the way down here before going back up again. So both oil, that's the same scenario. Okay. In my opinion, it should just rally. From where we are, there shouldn't be any form of pullback because they've invested a lot of money accumulating longs in here. So this should just continue exploding to the upside. The pound New Zealand, it did not hold. Let me remove this. Use object tree. Okay, so I was expecting them to hold this imbalance and continue going out to take out that high. It did not hold, so we're just gonna be on the sidelines on this for now until we see price action indicating otherwise. Right, it looks to me right now they're gonna take out this low. That's what they're gonna do, and that's a weekly swing low. Let me remove this drawing. That's a weekly swing low. If they do take it out, there will be liquidity below that. Just like there is liquidity above this, there will be liquidity below that. So it might inject some liquidity in the market and then maybe for now, I wouldn't say we'll probably make a new high, because the fact that they've come all the way down to take out this low. Now, there's nothing stopping price from going back up to make a new high. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that they've taken out a high and come all the way back down to take out this low. Obviously this week's closure will be key, but as far as I'm concerned, once it comes back up again, I will not be expecting it to go and take out this high. Maybe it will come back inside this range, so this high to that low, maybe it will come back inside that range. Sorry, my bad. This high to the low that is going to form. Okay, maybe you come back into that range and then continue going lower. You might continue going lower to come and attack these lows. So depending on how we turn around, maybe we might get either the pullback to go up here, or once it comes back up here, we look for the sell to continue going lower, because it looks to me that they are reversing as part of the quarterly shift which began this month. Right, as part of the quarterly shift, right, the shift that happens every quarter. Right, so we got quarterly down movement, quarterly up movement. So this is a new quarter. So if it's indeed a quarterly shift, it might continue coming down here. However, price doesn't move in a straight line, so it's gonna pull back. So if it does pull back, then we might get some trade to go up there. Right now it's just dropped too much, so I wouldn't expect any entry on this to continue the down movement. We just have to sit on our hands on this pair. All right, same thing applies to the pound Aussie. It looks to me they came back down for this. Structurally speaking, it's not gonna make a new high. I don't see it going back up to make a new high. They've taken out the weekly swing low, so it should inject some liquidity in the market. I think early hours it did, and then it just came back down again. So if you saw a quick move back up, that was because it went below a previous week swing low, and then it injected liquidity. It's made one more low. Maybe it can be the low of the week, and price will break back up and come into this range between this high and that low. So just keep an eye on it and see what it's gonna do. Okay. The Euro, Aussie, and Euro New Zealand also same thing. They failed to hold. The fact that they did not take this high out, to me, is, I would say, still possible. Maybe next week we might get something. Just look at the seasonal tendency and see why I believe so. Let's start with the New Zealand. So next week's date starts from the 19th. So from the 19th, we have price dropping back down, make one more rally, and then we drop. So from the 19th, next week, this week, this price action was not expected by me. Okay, the price action we see on Aussie, I was expecting consolidation, but they decided to rally price. So this week's price action is just not something I expected. I didn't come into the market this week with bullish New Zealand and bullish Aussie. It was a kind of a sideways market to me. But going into next week, we might see price drop. Right? We make a high on the 14th and then we drop all the way back down to 25th. So that's what I'm expecting, or that's what I was anticipating with the bullishness in the pound and euro. Not so much euro, but the British pound. So if I show you the British pound, you will see that British pound is somewhere in here. So this week we are in here. Right, so I was expecting from Monday to Friday just complete bullishness, and then next week another continuation. So this week's price action has just been not something I expected, right? But it's that's why price is always king. This is always going to be just a roadmap, and this is always going to be the driver. So the driver can sometimes decide not to go with the roadmap. Okay, so going back to Aussie, right, Aussie, same thing. I was expecting this price action. Okay, I was expecting that, not bullishness, because the bullishness should have happened last week. Okay, so this week maybe I think it will be a turnaround either today or tomorrow and come back down again, because this week price action was meant to be sideways. So we might get a pullback on Aussie. Okay, if that happens, maybe they might take this one up again. Right, if that happens, they might take this one up again. So just keep an eye on it. Don't discount that fact that it's coming down. Right, keep an eye on it and then watch price action, because it's gonna start accumulating. If it's gonna go up, remember, for price to go up, it has to go down first, and then for price to go down, it has to go up first. So it can be accumulation, and then they might send it right back up again. This pair can do that, right? Within one day, it can just pump up like this. That's over 118 pips. Okay, if they turn around and go 118 pips, that's almost back up here, and it can do that within a day. So just keep an eye on it. Don't discount it, the fact that it's dropping, right? And let's see what's gonna happen. The Aussie New Zealand also, I think, came down one more drive to the downside. It looks to me it's accumulating. This is not a downtrend, right? This is not a downtrend. It's more of accumulation more than anything. So I'm watching it closely for a daily big move up. Okay, I want to see a daily big move up, closing above a previous candle like this, and then going forward I'll start anticipating a buy again, because right now it's just too choppy. And this pair, yes, that's the nature of this pair, it does that. So if you're not familiar with it, that's what it does. What's the seasonal tendency for Euro next week? Euro next week should also give a kind of a sideways market or a drop. Next week is from here. Yep, sideways market. So from next week's date starts from the 19th. So 19th will be somewhere in here, and then we end the week with 23rd. So from 19th to 23rd, you can see we don't do much. we just stay in a consolidation. But the Aussie is dropping, and the New Zealand is also dropping. So if we have consolidation and one is dropping, then the one dropping will be weak and the one in the consolidation will be strong. That's the read, but always price is going to be king. Therefore, we will watch price action to anticipate that. Okay, like I said, this is a roadmap, and that's the driver. The driver can always do what he wants, right? So again, this can do whatever he wants. So just be patient with it, okay? Because all he's doing is taking out lows and coming back inside, taking out lows and coming back inside. That's a form of accumulation, right? It takes out the low, comes back in, takes out a high, comes back in, takes out a low, come back in. So just be patient on the sidelines on this until we get a big push. All right. CAD yen looks like it wants to come back up, but for now I'll stay away from it. Let me move these drawings. I'll stay away from it until the high of this is broken, because that's the last low. Well, if this is broken, it might pull back, and then here can be a buy for continuation. My only concern is the yen. The yen itself is not weak. The yen is not weak. This is this week, right? So this week I was expecting the yen to be strong. So everything I was expecting this week just went the opposite on the currency pairs. My bad. I had a very, very nice sleep. That's why I can hear me yawning. Okay. This week the yen was meant to gain strength, but it also did not do much. Next week it might stay sideways. So next week might, if we do break, might offer buy. The Swiss yen, however, on the other side is bearish, because the Swiss is going to start gaining weakness. So this might continue dropping back down here. Okay. Let's see what happens going into next week, because CAD yen right now is just not in a good position for me to buy it. Right? For us to be a buyer, that high has to be taken. And Euro pound is also in its element, it's just consolidating. So there's nothing to do on this one. Maybe next week it might drop. We will see. But for now, I think it's just dead. It's consolidating. Maybe accumulating to do something, but we just have to wait till it shows us what it wants to do next. I think that's it from these pairs. Oh, the Aussie and New Zealand, they are currently trading inside their range, which is this high to that low. So like I kept mentioning, this would be where I would expect something to form. So maybe not today. And I did not anticipate all this move to the upside this week, so hence I'm just being cautious of what I'll do on this bet, because that's not what I was anticipating. That's why I've just stayed away from this too. Is there a sell on Euro USD? If it did run this high, then I'll say maybe. Right? If it did run this high, then I'll say maybe, because we do have this equal high in here. So I think they might run it. In my opinion, it's just too clean. They will not leave that intact. They will run it. Maybe during the New York session. Right, during the New York session, it will run those highs. So don't attempt to sell it yet, because it will probably run the equal high first. Alright, I think we've covered almost everything. The crypto market, yesterday I gave some trade ideas on the cryptos. This was Ethereum. We mentioned that it's gonna continue to 225k from here, and that has almost reached that 25k. BTC also said that it's gonna go up to the 66,547 from this level, and they've just almost gone for that. I also gave one on this one that is also gonna continue going up from here, and so far it's moving smoothly to the upside. That was also part of it. I just didn't give anything on this, but a run below the low, subject to take price high again. So that's the crypto market. Let's have a look at some CFDs. That's not possible. What's this? Cotton? Yeah, that's not possible. Corn. US 30, yesterday, remember we talked about price coming back to the 50. I used the let's go back to this one. US 30, yesterday we did this measurement. Right, and I mentioned that the fact that we've gone for this move to the downside was bearish, right? And then we broke above it. Once we hit it 27, if it's gonna pull back, it's gonna pull back to 50 and then continue going up. And I'll put the Fibonacci so that you can buy the 618. You can buy the 618 here, and then look for continuation to the upside. Fell short just by a couple of pips. It only closed in the imbalance, and then it just continued screaming back up again. So it's going to head for 34k, right? It's gonna aim for 34k, and then probably go beyond that, because the 2% goes beyond the 34k. That's the 27, that's the 6, and then the 2% extension is up there, so it's potentially gonna go for that. Okay. What else was it? Dogecoin. Yeah, Dogecoin, we talked about price coming into here and then going back up again, that it shouldn't break that and should go back up again. So Doge is gonna continue going up. You can do some, if you're margin trading it, then you can do this, looking for the upside extensions. If you're just buying and holding, then just hold it, because it's gonna continue going up. Daily is still bullish, it's gonna continue going up. I think this is the beginning of the move, because we've been going sideways for a while, and then we had a pump, so that's accumulation. We have the expansion, and then it's going to at some point reaccumulate and then make another expansion. Not that exaggerated, but so it's gonna, I think this is the accumulation in here. So it's going to expand one more time, roughly same range, to the upside again, and then accumulate one more, and then a little bit push, and then maybe a retracement, and then a continuation. Man, you're supposed to help a brother out. If you're supposed to help a brother out, then post my BTC for me. What was it? ADA USDT, ADA USDT. This one here. That has reached upside. It's made a new high. 1.7 in my opinion. $1.7 is possible. Yeah, 1.7 is possible. And that should continue going up, as I mentioned yesterday. That's rejected from the beautiful level, so it should continue going up. Once it breaks above this high, once it breaks above that high, it's gonna continue going up. Yeah, it should find ease breaking that high and then continue going up. That's all for now. Unless you have any question, I think that's all I have for the day. But just for the currencies, focus on this one for the continuation to the downside. The GBP, hold on to that small position, right? Because I'm anticipating a break above this high and it might go up here. Okay, I like this structure. Yeah, I like this structure. If we break above that high, it's gonna scream. It's gonna rally quickly to that level because there's nothing in here, dude. Right, so hold on to some of that position for a break above that high to continue on going in that direction. Oil, I think they just dipped down into the imbalance and it's rejecting. It did not close below, so that is good. Right, it was just a run and it's rejecting, so I think it's gonna also scream up again. So you can participate in a buy on this. Stop loss wise, I'll say leave the stop loss below leave the stop loss below 50% of the this whole big candle, so somewhere in here, there roughly, and then look for the continuation to the upside. For target, I like up in here. I think they're gonna make a new high, but for now, target up here. There's also some clinical high in here, so I don't know your position how it's going to be like, but my position is just IC market. That's the broker I use. They only give one standard or a half a standard, so if you have that, you cannot scale out that much, because once you scale out, that's it. It's either you close the trade or you hold on to it, and which is what I have done with UK 100. I've not managed to get an entry because obviously I woke up late so I missed the entry, right? And yesterday I was anticipating this retracement today, so I've missed my entry, so I've not managed to add anything to it. Same thing applies to these ones, right? If they're gonna go up, depending on what you put on, you might not be able to scale out. So if your broker allows you like these lot sizes, not a fixed one like 1 or 2 or 0.5, and you have to scale out on these numbers, and you can do, let's say, 0.5 or a 1, and you can scale out on a micro lot basis, so you can close like 0.20, 0.10 or 0.40. If it gives you that option, then I'll say once we go above, once we hit this level, you close something off, there you're gonna close something off, and then I'll hold on to the rest. Okay, I'll take them up there and then I'll hold on to the rest. All right, any other question? Any other question? Alright, cool, no problem. So I'll touch base with you guys in the afternoon. Okay? have a wonderful morning, and I'll see you in the afternoon.